Good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday. It's the 18th of February. Welcome to today's episode of Morning Wealth. All eyes on US yields, borrow to invest in Bitcoin, US retail sales, and Fed minutes. Those are the three things that we will talk about. All eyes are on US yields. Treasury yields turned lower after hitting a one-year high, and US stocks ended little changed as investors weighed strong retail sales against concerns about nascent inflation. The Nasdaq fell, the Dow rose, and the S&P 500 was flat. The 10-year yields dropped 3 basis points to around 1.28 after climbing to about 1.33. Expect more wild gyrations. Volatility markets signal that the 10-year yield may surge or drop almost 30 basis points in the next 3 months. The 3-month implied volatility on the 10-year swap rates jumped by the most since March on Tuesday. With the move, what's known as the terminal break-even indicates traders are pricing for the yield to either jump to 1.6% or drop all the way back to 1%. In the commodity markets, natural gas prices gained 2.9% to rise for the third consecutive session. Winter storms across the US have juiced momentum in the energy markets. Meanwhile, gold prices fell 1.5% to close lower for a fourth consecutive session. In other markets, the Euro Stoxx 600 edged down 0.7%. In Asia, the major indexes ended on a mixed note. Japan's Nikkei 225 was down 0.6%. The Hong Kong's Hang Seng rose about 1.1%. Markets in mainland China remain closed for the Chinese New Year holiday. Among individual stocks, Verizon was up 5.2% to post the largest gain of a Dow's component. Chevron followed, rising about 3%. Both stocks surged after Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway said that it bought large stakes in both companies. Broadly, cyclical sectors emerged as leaders for the day, with the S&P 500's energy sector outpacing all other groups in the index. Energy was up about 1.5%. In contrast, many mega-cap technology companies lost steam. Apple fell about 1.8% after news that Buffett trimmed exposure. Netflix also was down about 1.1%. On the corporate earnings front, Baidu's ADRs rose in late trading after fourth quarter revenue beat, and its sales forecast for the current period also surpassed expectations. Shopify dropped after saying it sees revenue growth slowing in 2021. Hilton missed estimates, though it said that it's seeing modest increases in the first quarter US demand. Twilio's fourth quarter adjusted EPS beat, as did its revenue forecast, sending the shares up 10% in late trading. MicroStrategy boosted the debt sale it used to buy Bitcoin. It priced 900 million of senior convertible notes, up from 600 million announced on Tuesday, and gave an option for another 150 million more within 13 days. The debt will pay no interest, making it virtually a straight bet on cryptocurrency. The company estimates total proceeds of about 1 billion, enough to buy about 20,000 Bitcoin. This is fascinating for me, that a company is coming to the public market, paying no interest on what they're borrowing to invest in Bitcoin, and they're juicing up the deal and pricing up the deal instead of meeting any skepticism in the market. I don't know how this will end up, but it's really fascinating to see that such events can happen. History has enough lessons and gives us a lot of indications on how this will end up finally, but it is what it is right now. Moving on, Vanguard is considering loading up leveraged loans as the current reflation environment makes for a perfect recipe for performance, said Michael Chang, a senior portfolio manager of high yield at the firm. For now though, Vanguard is focused on high yield bonds. We had the Fed minutes and the US retail sales. Fed Reserve officials did not see the conditions for reducing their massive asset purchase program being met for some time at their January policy meeting, a record of the gathering showed. With the economy still far from those goals, participants judged that it was likely to take some time for substantial progress to be achieved, according to the minutes of the Jan 26-27 meeting. Various participants noted the importance of the committee clearly communicating its assessment of progress towards its longer run goals, well in advance of the time when it could be judged substantially enough to warrant a change in the pace of purchases, is what the minutes said. The US dollar traded sharply higher against most of the major currencies on Wednesday following strong retail sales. Consumers stepped up in the month of January, driving retail sales higher for the first time in 4 months. Retail sales rose an impressive 5.3%, more than 4 times the 1.2% forecast. Every category saw an increase as Americans took their $600 stimulus checks to the stores. Demand for electronics, furniture, and home furnishing were particularly strong, but online spending increased as well. While the gain in dollars suggests that investors were pleased to see the much-needed recovery in consumer demand, the slide in dollar-yen, along with the intraday volatility in stocks, suggests less enthusiasm. Stocks had been in negative territory for most of the day until the FOMC minutes were released. They turned higher only after the minutes revealed that the Fed officials saw considerably strong outlook for 2021 relative to their December forecast. That's the update. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.